Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to our normal Friday stream, Space Lab stream. Yep. Cool. We are a few seconds early. That doesn't happen very often. Nice. Alright, back with Outer Wilds. Picking up where we left off last week. Alright, now the endless game of trying to remember what I was up to. Gabbro's Island, Statue Island, Bramble Island, Statue Workshop, Ash Twin Project. Oh, and those are all orange, so those are related to that area, I guess. And that was that fourth island on Giant Steep that I didn't get to, so maybe we go do that. But also, I was reminded about the geysers here. No. Hello, Lionaris. You're the first viewer to comment on the stream. Yep. Hi. It's been a while. I know we're on different time zones, I'm pretty sure, so our times usually don't line up, but hello. Nice to see you again. How you doing? I wonder if I can get down here safely. I have no idea. Yeah, hope you're doing well. Nice to see you again. Woo, okay. Nice. Didn't die. Always a good sign. Oof. Launched into the air again, jeez. Alrighty. Interesting. So there's these lava spouts, lava geyser things. Lava vents, that's the one. Magma vents? Something like that. Volcanic vents. It's created with canteens, and so there's it's like fish or something. Fun. I'm just back to a bit less of Degen timing, so you know you haven't been able to pop in a whole lot of streams recently. Makes sense. Man, I wish I could go back to Degen stream hours. I've got so many like Asian and European streamers that I want to watch. But I work at 9 to 5 in America, so that doesn't work out so well. What is down here? There's a pipe there. Interesting. You know, it's been fun. You just went for your first hackathon just last week. Nice! Hackathons are really fun. Whoa! Oh, cool, so I guess these are all lava spouts of some type. Interesting. Hello, Yahazu. Nice to see you again. Hope you're doing well. So you may remember that time you drowned down here somewhere. Yep, exactly. I was like, well, I'm on the planet. And I just remembered that was the thing. Ooh. So rusty, usually rabbit hole and got stuck in a loop. Yeah, common issue with the hackathons. It's very easy to get super focused on something that isn't critically important in the immediate time period. Kind of just have to do enough jams that or hackathons that it kind of becomes second nature. But nice. Hope you had fun. For closer observation, mining site 2A wouldn't be safe for the native life dwelling in some of this cave's pools, so unfortunately allowed to mine one of the other sites. On the opposite hand, new life. This species is semi-aquatic and very hardy. The ecosystem here is quite robust, so I believe they'll thrive in the long run. Caution near the pools if you visit 2A to meet them. Did they meet the ancestors of the Harthians? Nice. They remind me of a subterranean species my mentor Melore once told me about from when our clan used to travel across this universe. I imagine she would have enjoyed these life forms greatly. I was watching them once during a rest, and the hours escaped from me. They're fascinating. I wonder what their fourth eye does. A few other cave sites look promising. What about Site 2B? Share similar formations and strata. Sounds promising. Will you and your mentor investigate? If mining Site 2B proves safe for the native species, we'll move our work there. Site 2B is safe. Colia says we'll continue to monitor activity and its effect on life here. Neat. Spent the next few days thinking about the problem, but then just went, okay, fine. Try this again in the next hackathon or something. Nah. Unfortunate. Yep. It does be like that sometimes, though. We're near it now, yep. Exactly. Yeah, so we got four-eyed creatures and the Nomai. So yeah, last time I checked, our species is 4 eyes. So nice. Can't wait for the existential horror segment. I mean, I think we already got that with Dark Bramble, right? Or whatever it was. We do have a zoom on the signal scope, that's true. Yeah. Have I been? I've been doing pretty alright. We finished our Metroid Marathon eventually, so we played every single Metroid game in existence, including Metroid Pinball. That was a game that existed, but we played through it. So yeah, that was pretty exciting. So now I'm just kind of going through other variety games. So I'm trying to pick up another franchise I want to play long term. Yeah, Pinball was yeah, the most essential game in the franchise for sure. You know, it really shed a lot of light on you know, what makes a Metroid game, you know? Nah, it was alright. I did have to cheat though. It was way too difficult. Yeah, streaming once a week. We did do twice a week a few times there. Yep, for all the Metroid games. We didn't play Metroid 1, 2, or Metroid Prime 1 on stream. I did play those off stream at various points. So we'll still need to go back and do those at some point, but since I played the remakes, felt like that was good enough. And it was definitely longer than 5 months. I think I started about a year ago, so it's been about a year to play through all of them. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping Prime 1 gets ported to Switch. Or at least remastered, yeah. But if not, my plan was to play it in the lead up to Prime 4. So once we have a release date for Prime 4, I'll go back in and play Prime 1 on stream. Yeah, so about a year, give or take, exactly. So there's mining site 2B through the door. Cool. Yeah, I guess I did choose the right geyser. Lucky guess. So where's this? Ah, of course, the waterfall. Cleverly hidden behind the waterfall. Always is. It's certainly possible. Yazoo's lurked in a couple different channels other than mine. At least in the past. Right, I have a flashlight. That's helpful. Let's see, play around this water. There we go. So many know my corpses. That's depressing. Still amazed by how much ore the Ash Twin project requires. Isn't this the ore for the remaining towers being built on Ash Twin? The completed towers I've seen are quite large. The material for those towers is all being taken from Ash Twin. The ore we're mining here will be used to craft an immensely thick protective shell that physically seal off the chamber inside Ash Twin's core. I've raided Annika a few times, so that's certainly possible. They're sealing off all entrances. I hope they planned accordingly. Nice to know the puns span multiple species. Thought you had forbidden your apprentice from making puns, Coleus. How else would he improve? Nice. Relieved by our clan's decision to use Timber Heart's ore only for constructing the shell. If eventually life on this planet were to evolve to the point of advanced metallurgy, I'm confident we won't have destroyed their ability to create. Nice. They're looking out for us even before we'd evolved to be sentient. And nice of them. More information on the Ash Twin project. Yeah, fair warning if you ever want to play this game for yourself. This is definitely spoilers for Outer Wilds. Oh, what's that? Is that just one of the light fixture things? Fancy. I gotta know my respected life, however young it was, yeah. Exactly, the fact that they were like... Well, yeah, the species isn't a big thing yet, but, you know, they seem cool. Maybe they will be later. Let's make sure not to do anything that could endanger them. Very nice of them. Okay, I see these things on the table. And my first thought was, oh, it's like a lunchbox. Like someone brought their food for takeout here. Alright, let's see. Ash Twin Projection Stone. I think we've seen this before, but... Yeah, this is where the recording masks are. It's obviously a burger box. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. There's 3 masks. Now, for me, Gabbro, and someone else. A mysterious stranger. My gratitude for this shipment, huh? The ore should be the last one to leave the Ash Twin project. Once we finish the shell that seals off the central chamber, we'll check to ensure there are no longer any physical entrances. Amy and I will be checking the interior and then the exterior for cracks, our final safety check. Speaking of Gabbro, should go talk to them again? Cool. Sounds like a plan. We are headed in that direction anyway, after this. This is exciting news. Can I offer an extra set of eyes for this final check, specifically mine? If my work here is complete, I'd be delighted to help. I'd be grateful if you would. The more eyes, the better, as the smallest flaw or opening in the shell that protects the Ash Twin project could lead to disaster. So it's important that cave not be breached. Good to know. Not now, but she'll go talk to them again at some point. Makes sense. Yeah. Well, we are headed back to one of those planets, at least, after we're done here. So that checks out. So there's not a whole lot of secret stuff on Timber Hearth, but there's at least some, clearly. Alright, let's go check out what this weird tower is. lots of ore brought up here. I assume are like containers for holding things. So it just goes up to this level, but where does it come from? That's the important question. Ah, whoops. There's water down here. Figures. We've got nice little mining tunnels. I love the fact that it looks like star fields. It's very cool. So I'm guessing they would mine stuff out here and then bring it into the central shaft there to move the ore up to the surface. Whoop. Ah, there was a geyser there. Whoops. Didn't even notice. Was it already up there? Yeah. So Dark Bramble. Really don't like Dark Bramble. Totally understandable. Alright, this is where we came in. Cool. Thought that was the case, but wasn't entirely sure. Oh, were they actively using this to mine things out? Ah, that's actually really neat. So they would use the gravity well thing and just point it into the rock, and it would automatically pull it all out and pump it up to the next floor up. That's really clever. Gonna crash? You were just adjusting away from Degen times, but you did just finish the Degen stream because you just got stuck on Sekiro. Fair enough, fair enough. Well, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. It's nice to see you again. Have fun with Sekiro. It's a really great game. Not one I'm very good at, but very fun to watch. Hope to see you around again later. A very strong tractor beam, and be ashamed not to use it. Yep, no, it makes sense. It's really cool. I love it when they reuse design elements like that in clever ways. Not when you're good at either. Yep. It's a difficult one. I need to stop falling out of the water. If we just sit here long enough, eventually it'll launch us out, right? There we go. I feel like there's something in here somewhere that I'm still missing, but I'm not sure. I'm starting to run out of fuel. I tried Sekiro yet, maybe you should at some point, but since you're still a bit mad about Neo and a bit scared that the samurai theme isn't going to be interesting enough for you. Yeah, it's a reasonable concern. It's definitely got some of the Dark Souls flair, but definitely is a very different game in terms of themes and aesthetics visually. Oh, wait. Ah. I'm not doing a great job of getting out of here. There we go. Ah. I'm not seeing anything else, so we can head out. Need to refuel anyway. Up, up, and away! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So close. Not there was anything else there anyway. Cool. Fair enough. Well, we're out of fuel. Ouch. It's fine, we're alive. That's the important thing. Yeah, no fuel. And we're injured. Ghost matter, shoot. Ah. Don't step over there. There's an achievement for using O2 as fuel for a while if you want to try that while you're at it. Might as well. Cool, cool, cool. Ooh. And if they just had ghost matter waiting at the bottom of that, that would be, depressing. Let me go down the wood slide. Oh. But it is underneath there. Okay, cool. Oh. Good run. Yeah, by just keeping the boost button on while you're out, makes sense. Jeez, Nona's still going. It's been like, what, almost 6 hours for him? That is a long stream. Cool. Alright, well, let's head back out. Alrighty. So let's see, we're gonna go look for Gabbro potentially. Which is that way. Once again, my left stick isn't letting me lock onto things, but we know where we're going, right? Here we go! Woo! Only lock on if you go forward and never stop. Exactly. You get it. Ah, whoops. Came down a little bit hard there, but it's fine. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, there goes our ship. Ah! No, no! Hi! Welcome, Raiders. Awkward timing. Hello, hello. Comfy fire-eat indeed. Hi, probably already see me in Nono's chat before, but I'm Hawkbar. I'm a mad scientist, streaming to you live from my space lab. We're playing Outer Wilds today. Feel free to bail if you're trying to avoid spoilers for Outer Wilds. It is a game that's best experienced blind, but very cool game. I'm enjoying it a lot. No, thank you for the resub. Hi, comfy fire raid indeed. Hello, hello, hello. Jeez, not often that you're still alive long enough to raid me. I was trying to watch for as long as I could, but eventually I had to actually go live. But yeah, you beat that boss, right? The night one. I think so, yeah. I think I was there for that. Imagine being able to catch your stream. Yep. Doesn't happen very often. But yeah, welcome. Hi, Kitsu. Hi, Nono. Hi, I think I saw applesauce there, right? Yep. And hi, Majima. Beat another. Nice. Beat the night and after they killed Garland 4 axe hits. Nice. Totally, 100%. I'll take you at that. Take you on that at face value. Very nice. Or your time changes like tomorrow? Oh, that's right, yeah. So it's not as bad as it could be. After Garland killed him twice. Okay, that makes sense. Nice. Okay, my ship is gone. So this plan is kind of all falling apart. That's fine. We can just go swimming for a bit. Who needs a ship or dry land? It's so refreshing to be able to re-challenge bosses, and this is opposed to other Souls-likes. Yeah, that is something I always felt like they should add to like Dark Souls as the mainline series, being able to fight the same boss fights again. You spend all this time learning how to fight the boss, and then you get one good run where maybe it wasn't even a perfect run, but you still did decently. And then you kind of have to throw all of that learning you just did away because you're not going to be facing the same boss again. So I always felt like boss reuse is actually like a good thing to have in a Souls-like game. That's true, there is like New Game Plus, but like by the time you get back to the same boss again in a New Game Plus, you might have forgotten a lot of the moveset and such. One shot at Tom Berry for revenge too. Nice. 'Cause you're struggling against that one for a while. Congratulations. I'm bringing up bad memories now. That Tom Berry doesn't exist anymore, it can't hurt you. It's true, it can't. You're safe. You know what they say. No attack is unavoidable. It's true. No attack is unavoidable. See, I've been here before already, I think. Yazoo, do you remember if I ever actually got up there? I know I was trying to at one point and then things reset. The Tom Berry knife. Indeed. I don't think I did either. So maybe while we're here and shipless, it'd be a good idea to check that out. The new Metroid game looks great, yeah. I know, right? Honestly, could you imagine a Metroid game in this style, though? Like, open world Metroid game, but it's all about, like, unraveling the mysteries of the planets you're on, what happened to the ancient civilization that used to be there. And then your reward is progression upgrades. You know, Morph Ball and new beam types and stuff that lets you get through puzzles. I think that'd be really cool. But does it let it mundanely push a ball from one side of the stage to the other? It does, actually. Quite a lot of times. Alright, here we go. This is what I was waiting for. Up. There we go. Wow. Yeah, I know, right? I'm gonna wait for the island to get launched into space. Didn't know the Outer Wilds devs were so heavily inspired by the second worst Metroid game. It's true. Hmm. Is that the second worst Metroid game, though? I'm gonna have to think about that one. It's definitely in the worst. It's definitely in the bottom 3. But Pinball, Other M, and Federation Force are all definitely questionable. Pinball. True. Curious, sending a being's memories back in time the same as sending the being itself back in time? As an example, if we were to send my memories back in time, is that the same as sending me back in time? Not my physical body, but my essence. Hawk Bar Pinball win. I could probably make a pinball game. I suppose the physics wouldn't be that complicated if you want to do something really janky with like Unity or Unreal. Other M is at least a game that tried to do things, that's true. That's a valid point. Imagine they're 2 different actions. Wouldn't both actions be effectively the same? Suppose the time was being rewritten. I believe this is different from receiving memories from what is effectively the future. Isn't the end result identical in either case? Very philosophical. I need to finish my robot game first, yep. And we will get back to that after we finish this game. Buy a hawkball table. That'd be wild. There we go. I'll build the space bar, the hawk bar. And then I'll have a hawk pinball machine to go along with our space bar. Perfect. I see no flaws in this plan. It's fine. Who needs oxygen? Hey, DKD, thanks for the follow. Nice to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Psh, who needs oxygen? Overrated. Apparently we need oxygen. You need oxygen if you want to talk to Gabriel. How are you going to talk if your lungs are empty? Fair point, fair point. You inhale pure argon only? Smart. I think that's the best play. Hand signals. I like that. There we go. We can communicate entirely through abstract hand gestures. Sounds like a good play to me. Man, we are really rasping when we wake up there. Alright, well, we did accomplish one thing there. So I'd say that's progress. Let me see if I can rebind this control again. So it'll let me actually, like, lock onto things. It's not necessary, but it does help. There we go. Now it's working again. Cool. Oh, whoops. Hello. I should probably actually, like, get off the launch pad before I start worrying about where to fly. Okay, this is not going well. Roll. How do I roll? That's how I roll. That's not how I roll. That's how I crash. Our hull is damaged. Okay, that's a problem. Since you died from suffocation, your character woke up trying to get air. That makes sense. I should probably stop suffocating, shouldn't I? Okay, what's broken here? There we go. Good as new. Suffocation sounds painful. It does. Not a great way to go out. But there's different wake-ups. How do you get... Ah, it makes sense, yep. Breathing is known to prevent death. In certain cases, you know, it's not a end-all be-all. Surely. Okay, here we go. Off the ground for real this time. 100% of the things that breathe proceeded to die, it's true. 100% mortality rate, both for consuming dihydrogen monoxide and ingesting oxygen. Maybe they didn't breathe hard enough, that's true. Good point. Let's see. Esker, Rebeck. That's right, Gabbro was giant steep. Cool. I do really like that we got signals that'll point us exactly where we need to go. And it's the people making music. It's very, very poetic. Okay, I am approaching much too quickly. Much too quickly. Whew. I always forget to decelerate before crashing into the planet. Okay. Here we are. And where's Garibro's signal? Okay, it's almost only water and tornadoes down there, it's true. That does help. So that's Statue Island. Oh, wait, this is this place. I've seen this before. It's okay, we'll get to Garbo later. Yeah, we saw it via the projection stones. Island number 4, finally. Okay, we got tornado shelters. Cool, cool, cool. We got a dead Nomai. This is it. We finished building the final orbital probe cannon module and are ready to send it into orbit around Giant Steep for assembly. To all my friends here at the construction yard, my gratitude for your tireless work. I had given up hope, but I truly believe this cannon may actually succeed where many other attempts have not. Garo almost, you have like 20 minutes. True. Very true. I know my brother Evans and his spouse will want to launch the probe with as much power as possible, and where the cannon would break under the strain. Pros will give Evans and Mallow a slightly lower maximum power setting than the absolute maximum possible to create room for their enthusiasm. So they did account for launching the probe at full velocity, and it still broke. That's concerning. Are you going gelatinous on us, love? I'm delighted by your words, but they're atypical for you. I'm never half as gooey as Mallow and Evans behave together, Daz, and may launch me from the orbital probe cannon. Cute. Next step will be to send Privet up to the orbital probe cannon and install the probe tracking system. Cool, so that's basically all the stuff we already knew about, but good to know that, that was the thing. Let's stay in the shelter before we get slammed back down the water. Sounds painful. You'd think these islands would be more shattered after being picked up and slammed down like that so many times. There we go. Tornado shelters are pretty cool. It's a neat mechanic. Whoa. Right, these surfaces are powered by those crystals. Took you wait till I understand what they were, though. Yeah, I mean, since they're not active except when the tornado's actually happening, it's easy to, like, not think about them. I see how this is. We got a platforming puzzle. Oh. So I guess this is how they did construction, is they could just walk around and inspect the components from any side. That's pretty fun. The other side isn't broken? Well, too bad. Let's see. Where am I actually going here, though? I'm not sure yet. I presume I'm trying to get up to one of these platforms. Yeah, this is where the projection plate was. Control module. Just left to right and then to the other. Makes sense. Bad news, Evans. Yarrow says there was a problem with the proposed power source. The orbital probe cannon won't be asked to fire. think I've read this one already. Yeah, we read this one up in orbit. 6 minutes, 34 seconds ago, long-range probe successfully launched from the orbital probe cannon. Cool, so this is like ground control for the launch system. And those are the 3 different projection plates for the 3 different components. And gravity is so high on this planet. It's crazy. Brittle hollow projection stone. Interesting. Okay, let's walk back across. Anything over here? Doesn't look like it. Cool. And the high gravity is rough. I like here when you're walking on this, it says negative gravity. And now we're back to positive. There we go. How would negative gravity even work? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Conway, Daz, and I were lifting orbital probe cannon components into orbit for assembly, and one somehow sank down beneath the current. Ah, yes, I read this one. Tower of Quantum Knowledge. Squish. Yeah, pretty much. She would stretch you out. Hello, Jerome. Speaking of squish, I got tentacles over here. Alright. I feel like that didn't... You ever look at where the brittle hollow stone showed? Maybe not. Thought I would've, but... Oh yeah, this is where the tornado testing cave thing was, right? In the observatory? That makes sense. Oh boy. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Not good, not good, not good. It's because you remember neither if you ever looked or where it showed. Makes sense. Well, now we checked. There, get in the ship. Can't get hurt inside the ship, right? There we go. My mines, construction yard. Cool, we're really fleshing out the orbital probe cannon section. Alright. I think that was everything on this island. So I didn't see any other obvious things around here. Yeah, we got the panel over there. And we checked out the projection plates there. Is there anything underneath this island? Only other things left on the planet you can think of is a module in the core and talking to Gabbro again. Cool. Well, we can go talk to Gabbro. Let's see, where was he? So I understand why your brain makes you write thing instead of think, the other way around. Well, they're very similar words. Very similar suffixes. See someone listen to the Traveler's OST? Yep. And it's a good song. It's very Stormy Planet. Yep. You're right, Jerome. Here we are. Now I kind of wish I built a hammock here before I ended up in this time loop. How do you stay so calm in the face of repeated impending death? Deep breaths. No, seriously, I meditate. Want me to teach you? I'll be the next loop before you know it. Sure, why not? Okay, close your eyes. Okay, that actually starts the next loop. Cool. Well, I guess we're flying back there. Here's what I was telling you to come talk to them again. Unlock the meditate action in the menu. Oh, interesting. That's nice. So if we ever get stuck and we're just waiting to die, we can meditate. That's useful. Nice. Let's see. You get stuck, I think you don't have enough time left, you can just reset. Yep. That sounds very convenient. Cool. I still don't know how to get into the core. I should figure out how to do that. Maybe we have some hints in the ship's log that I just didn't read properly. The game never hints at it being possible unless you go talk to Gabriel again at the first loop you meet him in. Interesting. I guess that makes sense. I really feel like it has something to do with the jellyfish, but I'm still not sure what it is. Oh, you're gonna say with the course you already have every info you need. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I might end up needing a hint. Let's see. And we're looking for a geyser. It goes counterclockwise. There we are. There we go. What does the remote say about the core and the module? I suppose that would be an important thing to check, wouldn't it? Let's see. One of the orbital probe cannons, 3 modules. The probe tracking module is receiving data from the launch probe. And now I aboard the probe tracking module will be the first to see the coordinates of the eye of the universe. And my computer reports the probe tracking module is missing. I saw the probe tracking module through a NMI projection pool. It looks like the module is underwater. I can see purple electricity outside the viewport. Some sort of electrical field permeates the core. The outside of the jellyfish is all rubbery and tough, possibly because it insulates the jellyfish's inside so we can accept electricity. Smart decided to venture inside the jellyfish's interior cavity to see if it tastes any better on the inside. Jellyfish are only useful for insulation from electricity. Yeah, so it's something to do with the jellyfish. Tornado simulation was let us get into the core. Yeah, someone was trying to eat a frozen jellyfish, naturally. Yeah, it is kind of the worst planet ever. Jellyfish do allow you to get in and out, but I get shocked when I get too close to one, don't I? Is there like one that's hollow or something? And try to eat a giant anglerfish, but I'm pretty sure they'll get eaten first. Yeah, probably. If they like spread out their tentacles, theoretically you could getting underneath them, maybe. But they don't seem to do that. Yeah, if you can think of like a small hint. Oh, I guess you've already given me all the small hints. I think I'm still... my brain's short-circuiting. I have this problem where if I can't figure out the answer quickly, then my brain just kind of gets stuck in a loop. And I have a hard time thinking of new possibilities. Yeah, sounds about right. There was that frozen jellyfish on the surface. I wonder if I can use that for something. That's the only other thing I can think of. Up. Too low. So you need to put yourself in danger a bit more? Is that small enough? You know? Probably. I need to touch the jellyfish. No. Not like that, at least. Let's see, maybe if I'm just me by myself without my ship. Oh. I am inside the jellyfish. Unless I kind of just assumed they were solid. I guess the one that I walked into in Hollow Bramble or whatever, Dark Bramble, was similarly not solid. So I guess that makes sense. Okay, it sounds like we're passing through the electrical layer now. Are we in? I can't tell. I think we're in. Huzzah! Nice. Okay, cool. So I was right, I was just dumb about how I was going about it. Cool. Works for me. Or rather, my brain was just short-circuiting in the wrong way. So dark down here, which I guess is the planet's core, makes sense. Here we go. Can we get in this way? Nice. I was told you to get out of the ship instead of how I phrased it, but I thought that'd be a bit too direct. Yeah, that makes sense. I think if I'd done this right after running into that frozen jellyfish on the other planet, it would have made sense to me more. But the fact that it had been so long, I kind of forgot that it was small enough for me to get in person. So I was stuck on trying to like get my ship in there, which won't work. Oh, we got another statue with the eyes open. Is this the third mask, maybe? I don't know. Ash Twin Projection Stone. Yep, here we are. Do I want the answer? Well, eventually, yes, but I don't want the answer yet. I'm gonna find out if possible. Exciting news, Privet. The Ash Twin project is almost prepared to receive the probe data from the orbital probe cannon. Raimi is adding some finishing touches here, but she'll be finished soon. Are you in the orbital probe cannon well? We are. The statue here in the probe tracking module is ready to record each launch's flight trajectory and will automatically transmit all relevant data to you. Alright, so is the statue then responsible for the probe? Is that how that works? On the other appendage, I'm not worried about this cannon's structural integrity and its crew's moral integrity. Once the probe determines the location at the eye of the universe, it'll send an alert directly to you and Raimi. Interesting. There's the launch module. I think we've already done that one, but let's see. On the other appendage. Yep. On the other tentacle. I'm honored and terrified. You won't ask the orbital probe cannon to use so much power that it breaks, will you? Fret not, my nervous friend. You only needed to fire the probe once anyway, so minds of it compromise the orbital probe cannon's structural integrity slightly. I would mind, Mallow. I would mind, because we won't be capable of receiving our probe's data if the probe tracking module is destroyed. Yep. Well, it wasn't destroyed, it was just severed, and ended up here. It does seem to be intact still, which is good. Means theoretically we should be tracking the probe then. That's what you call foreshadowing, because this place is a pain to reach. Yep, that's right. And it's true, it is a pain to reach. Assuming that's the probe. Receiving data from probe 9,318,072. Wow. Visualizing current trajectory of probe 9,318,072. So this isn't the first probe they've launched. They've launched a lot. Now they found out how to get past the current, but I don't think it's ever mentioned if they reach the core. Yeah. Took me a while too. There's the probe launcher in orbit around Giant's Deep. Ooh boy. Oh, there's a lot. Oh! Oh geez. Is this how many probes they've launched? Forgot how much it starts, but you can actually know how many loops you're in using that number. That makes a lot of sense. If that goes up every time because they launch how many probes. Ah, so this explains why the Ash Twin must be somehow related to the time loop. So they can have until they heat up the universe to send probes out over and over. Total number of probes launched, 9,308,072. Deep space anomaly matching all known criteria for the eye of the universe found per probe 9,318. Wait. 54. So they found the eye of the universe. What is that? 18 loops ago, which is probably about how many I've done. Nice. So I'm gonna hydrate. Yeah, it's probably the first loop. That would make sense. Retrieving stored coordinates from Ash Twin. Displaying coordinates for the eye of the universe. I can't read those coordinates. You don't need to take notes, it'll be in the log. True. Okay. We successfully found the eye of the universe. Nice, good job, people. Only took, you know, millions of tries. See, there wasn't anything else important in there, was it? I don't think so. I wonder if it's a supermassive black hole. Could be. And the core of this planet's gnarly. It's purple. It looks like trees. Crazy how many tries they did before you got yourself awakened to the loop, yeah. That's a ridiculous number of lifetimes to live through, if you're around to live through it. Okay, I don't see anything else important here, but figured I would look. Ouch. Oh, we got zapped, but we're not dead. That's good. Now let's get back to our ship if we can. I'd say that was a pretty informative loop. Now that somewhere out there is the eye of the universe. I feel like we've learned a lot about the Ash Twin project. We should probably go check out that planet at some point. Seems like an important place to go. I want the gnome I spent more than a lifetime trying to find, so you say it was a good loop. Yep. Oh boy. This is concerning. I did not choose the best place to get out of the water. Nope. Space! Space, space. Gotta go to space. Almost back to the ship. There we are. Hopefully the ship's mostly intact. There we are. So we got the details on the probe tracking module. So we've got, I feel like that's most of this area mapped out. So I'm hoping the ship would have gotten hit by a jellyfish again while you weren't in it. Yep, that'd be rude, but very possible. So we got the Ashen Twin project. That's a big thing we should explore. We also should track down the Hang City and the escape pod again. And then there's the whole thing about the quantum moon and the other quantum towers. We'll need to get to those eventually as well. But I think for now we're done with Giant Steep. Nice. Sun is looking very red. Yeah, you know, I am not the most perceptive individual. That's for sure. Let's go check out the Hall's lantern. We haven't actually got within the landing distance of that before. Of course I overshot, that's what I do. I'm sure eventually I'll see it. It's almost kind of funny, it's a nice running joke. But I'm just absolutely blind. And what's this? Ah, those are the twins, that's right. For a second that looked a lot closer than it was. I was wondering what that glow was, but that would be the black hole. That makes sense. Hall's lantern. Mostly fire. Yep, as expected. Very tall volcano up here. Anything inside here? Doesn't look like it. Nothing in that one either. It's just a volcano. Yeah, like no gravity because this is a smaller moon. Yep, it's rock. Very cool. I'm assuming there's nothing important here, but give one more flyby just to make sure. One of the volcanoes does have a small Nomai ruin inside. Okay. So I was right. Time to build a structure around it, turn into a giant forge. Sounds like a good plan. I like that plan. So you can tell your second playthrough to one if they put something in there. Makes sense. I mean, if I could think to explore it, I feel like it would have come up at least once. Probably nothing too important. Let's see if I can manage to do this without crashing into something. Ah, here we are. We're almost out of time. So yeah, it's pretty much just the poles that are still standing here. Black Hole Forge District, Eye Shrine District, Meltwater District, School District. Nice. And they've got vertical walking panels. Nice. Okay, here earlier the bridge is right next to where Rebecca's playing the banjo. Nice. Wow, they already made the Forge idea real. Yep. Kaboom. There goes my ship. Oof. There he goes. I wonder how far you can just try to outrun the supernova. You can just pick a direction and just fly as fast as you can right from the start. I assume it probably expands like exponentially, so you can't just keep doing that forever. You can outrun it, actually? Interesting. That's fun. Much change to think because the game will force Luke to go on at some point. Yeah, I figured as much. But he can still run the physical blast. That's really fun. Hopefully we're far enough out to not fall back to the surface again. Cool, so the Black Hole Forge is somehow related to the Ashen Twin project. My city is spanned beneath brutal hollows rolling glacier. The city is divided vertically into 4 districts. There's more to explore here. I agree. We should go check it out. Alright, slow down. If it works for it. You should be able to mark stuff in your ship to be locked onto it. Don't remember if it works for everything, but it exists. Okay, cool, nice. That is very good enough for future information. Fun looking thing. You ever finished exploring the path near the Nomai escape pod? I don't think I did, no. Already mentioned that his ship was on the surface, but then he fell. Okay, yeah, so that ruin is filled with ghost matter. Note on the wall near the campfire. So there is. I'm blind. So used to any text that's important being glowing. The journey here from the South Pole has been, I'm going to go with harrowing because of the all the meteors. But hey, at least I made it here unconcussed and not on fire. Okay, let's see. I poked around a little, and there's some sort of old Nomai path that starts across from my campsite. Inside the ruined building with trees growing out of it. Doesn't look like anything horrible, just stairs leading down. I can handle stairs. After I get my supplies together, I'll follow the path and see where it leads. Cool. A building with the trees growing out of it. That'd be the one. Yeah, the explosions are meteors hitting the planet. Very spooky. There we are. Excuse me. Hopefully we won't need our ship for anything important. Actually, whatever the Hollow's lanterns do. And thank you for the blessing. There we go. Walking up walls is always fun. I hear banjo music. But I'll get to that in a bit. Gravity cannon. Oops. Didn't mean to smash that. Hope we didn't need it. Nope. Hopefully not. I don't think so, though. This goes all the way up to the surface, more or less. Fancy. And I'm just kind of picking random directions and exploring, but I feel like there's enough of this area that I haven't explored that works. Even if it's a bit slower than being more methodical. Kind of how this game works anyway. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I feel like I should follow the lights. It's shiny and so on until you finish. Yep, exactly. Okay, for a second I thought this chunk was falling and I was about to panic. But it's just the planet rotating. The world revolving, so to speak. Trait acquired, careless, plus 35% anomaly research speed. Sounds about right. Okay, that looks important. There we are. Activate the gravity cannon. Call the shuttle home. The shuttle is currently resting at the quantum moon. Things are humming. How many times you fell into the black hole? Totally. Yeah. Just activated the cannon. Of course it's humming. Should I be concerned? It's a very loud hum. The crossroads. Southern Observatory. I've been to the Southern Observatory. Whoa! Oh. Now I should be worried. Okay, cool. Well, that launches you into space. That's very cool. Now I'm falling rapidly towards the surface of the planet. I'm about to come down very hard. Unless I miss it at the black hole. Perfect. Flawless plan. Would have thought that an active gravity cannon would have done such a thing. You know, not me. Not me. That would have been, you know, my first thought, obviously. Here we go. Saved. Alright. Hey, Rebek. Oh, you launched. That's right. We talked about this. I'm in a hurry. Can I ask you something? Sure, ask anything you want. Learn something. So, Hang City. The Hang City, oh gosh, how was it? Was it amazing? Was it beautiful? Was it scary? Hang City is where the Nomai settled permanently in Brittle Hollow. It was their most advanced settlement here. Why they chose to build their most advanced settlement so close to you-know-what is beyond me. Maybe that kind of thing makes sense to a Nomai, though. Maybe they needed the black hole for something. Yeah, maybe. And imagine being scared of black holes. Couldn't be me. Could not be me. I'm not so much scared of the black hole as I am moderately irritated by the black hole. Do you think I can jump for it? I think that's a bad idea. And Rebek is scared of everything. Poor guy. Gal. Thing. Person. Being. At least some of those adjectives are accurate. Rock. Nice, the quantum tower. Yep. There goes that chunk. I should have left my scout up there to remind me of where I'm supposed to be going. But oh well. Ouch. Okay, that may have been a little bit harder of a down than intended. Oh, and there we go. I could, but now I can't. Yep. That was moderately painful. There's Tim Barth. Oh yeah, that's right. Whitehall Station. That was probably the smarter plan than to head out on manual thrusters. Imagine being smart. Couldn't be me. Could not be me. Yeah, we do need to slow down at some point. The MC is one of the Hearthians. One of the young individuals of the alien race that has been exploring this galaxy. Theoretically, no relation to the ancient aliens that are all around here. Okay, here we go. Ship has fallen into a black hole. That's fine. Oh. Dang it. I was going slow, but not slow enough. Only relation to the Nomai is that they met your ancestors. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, so much for that loop. That was mostly just me flying around in circles, crashing into things. Ah, we go again.
Incoming jump signature. Hostile configuration.
Exactly. Man, so I guess the probe system wasn't designed to stop launching when it found the eye of the universe. So it keeps launching a probe every loop. Okay. Go seek out new life and new civilizations. Will it go where no Hearthian has gone before? Probe is also launched randomly each time. Makes sense. That seems appropriate. Okay, decelerate. Decelerate. We are dangerously close to the moon, but thankfully we're safe. Now we actually check out this area and this time instead of freaking out. There we go. Swing out the distress signal. Escape pod 1. Can we use that to track down the escape signal from the distress signal from escape pod 2? Looks like one of the twins, maybe? That would make sense, considering that's one of their other major settlements. Oops. Overshot there. Attack. Panic! Panic! Panic, 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 panic. Not again. Hey, just stop by to grab your fuel. Yes, precisely. There's the launch cannon up there. Kind of hard to reach from here. There's the Tower of Quantum Knowledge again. Almost falling into the black hole, starting to be a running gag. Starting to be. Pretty sure it already is. That was not a good jump. That was not a good jump. Okay. Where's Whitehall Station? There we are. It's fine, it's fine. I am a professional space explorer with years of experience in crashing into things. And crashing through things, too, I suppose.
I am a scientist. It's so cool. Instead of a bitch.
Precisely. Let's get out of the white hole the same way, so the station should never be too far from where you're looking. Nice. Cool, makes sense. Could you know? It's interesting that, like, every single switch they have has, like, a bi-directional state. It's not just on or off, but it's both polarities. model always looks so dumb. I'm drinking like that. There's our ship. Boom. Another thing that took you too long to understand, you thought that you needed to look at the sky to be teleported for some reason. I mean, it's certainly more fun to do it that way. That's for sure. Let's see, we can grab feldspars. Fuel. Should probably head in the general direction that our ship is in. And say flying is just throwing yourself at the ground and missing. I feel like we're usually pretty good at that. Often to the point of throwing yourself at the ground and completely missing the planet, ending up on a different planet, or in a black hole. Dang it! Come on! Every time. Oh well. That is clipping through the planet. That's concerning. I don't think it's supposed to do that. VODs stands a tower of quantum knowledge. If you're making your first pilgrimage to the quantum moon, ascend these stairs and obtain the last of the knowledge you need for this journey. Okay, I didn't suppose those panels would be quantum powered. I don't think we should let black holes in the future. He seems drawn to it. Yeah, probably not. I think quantum powered here are the trees and the quantum rock up top. Makes sense. Worth exploring. And check to see if there are any windows I could have tried to fly through or something. There we go. As much as I complain, I do really like the platforming in this game. The trees are moving. That's right. With your feet lies the Tower of Quantum Knowledge. You're preparing to make your first steps to the pilgrimage of the Quantum Noon. Send the steps to the entrance below. Well, no, Bai, you should have, made it easier to enter. It's kind of rude. So it's currently facing Artheon. There he goes. Turn around and rotates giant steep. Should have made sturdier gravity platforms. Yep. It's very rude. Go away and I come back. Still facing the giant steep. Okay. So not quantum, just indicating what's overhead. Including the eye of the universe. Or maybe that's just supposed to be Hollow's lantern, I'm not sure. Cool, cool, cool. Ooh. Is that the quantum moon? Oh, there we go. First time I've actually recognized its presence. There we go. Despite passing by it many times. And I look away and now it's gone. I didn't know what it looked like. Didn't think to look for it. Now I do. I am just blind. And see that scroll there? See, when you tried to look inside Hollow's lantern, it was right next to Brittle Hollow. Oh, there you go. There it is. And there it isn't. There it is. Suppose getting to it is more complicated than just waiting until it's there and flying to it, right? Or who knows with this game. Let's see. Yeah, that was a rhetorical question. Speaking of... Oh, almost ran into that. That was a rhetorical shrug, as expected. Theoretically, if I just keep boosting, I can slingshot my way around. Oh boy, we're gonna come in hard. Ouch. Oh, we're alive at least. That's cool. Yeah, we are running low on fuel. Oh. That was awkward. We don't have much time left. You can see it up there. Yeah, we did take a chunk of the planet like a champ, exactly. Oh, great. Oh. And now we suffocate. Yep. We got an achievement. So that's cool. Yep. And the unhappy gasp. I put on the spacesuit first, so I don't reflexively jump out of the ship. And suffocate to death in space. That makes sense lore-wise, but I wish you could skip the whole rollback when you die. Yeah. It doesn't take too long, though, compared to everything else. It's not that big of a deal. Alright. Brittle Hollow, take too many loops. It's lots of time and you want to keep playing. Fair enough, fair enough. Understand that. We're coming in way too hot. There we go, let's slide on past. Overshot by a bit, but that's fine. Hey, it's a gravity cannon. Wonder what we need a gravity cannon for. Can't imagine. There we are. I'm sure we're very secure. Look at that. Just start and step on it again. You know, you're reading my mind, Yazoo. There we go. I think that's what we were supposed to do. Stolen my shuttle from the Quantum Moon. We did. It's okay, they weren't using it. Probably. I am here. After watching it wander the skies for so long, I'm about to stand for the first time on the Quantum Moon. Suspected, my shuttle has landed at the moon's south pole. I will make the remainder of my journey on foot. I don't know why the Quantum Moon always welcomes visitors to the South Pole, just that this is true. As a child, I considered such unknown sinister. Now, though, I understand they bear no ill will. The universe is, and we are. I am ready. Nice. What is that on the... Whoop. Didn't mean to jump out. What's that on the ceiling? Not clue how to control these shuttles, but now some people figured it out. It can't be that complicated, right? You just flip levers until eventually you get launched into the sun. Whoop. So that returns us back to the launch pad, I guess. Some players actually managed to travel around using one. Nice. See, can we use this to reach the Quantum Moon, though? That's the question. The thing you managed to do with it was sending yourself into the sun and outer space. Fair enough. There's the moon. Up. Nice. Well, that's definitely how you're supposed to use a shuttle, right? Not exactly the same, but same result. Yep. I see no flaws in this plan. Alrighty. Try that again. Well, not directly again, because I'll probably just manage to launch myself into the sun again. Ooh, it's there. And disappeared. Rookie mistake. Flying through it. So what if I go slower? See, it starts fading out as soon as you cross through the boundary. Yeah, there it goes. Very tricky. The music in this game is so good. Let's see if we can pass through here without immediately falling into the black hole. Fingers crossed. Oh. Well, there goes that piece. Hope there's nothing important on there. Oh. There we go. Totally stable. And look, we got 100% integrity. We're fine. The ship will be fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, so... Oh, you know, if it falls, it'll just go through the black hole, and then we can jump in after it. It's fine. If it thinks we're giving it up, that'll be unfortunate. Well, okay, I was at 100%, and then immediately went down to 0%. Cool. Bye, ship. Yep. So, the Nomai get a signal from the Eye of the Universe, and then the Bramble attacks their ship, and captures their ship and one of the escape pods. The other two escape pods make it to the Ash Twins and to Brittle Hollow. Okay, I'm following along. Can't understand, why did the vessel crash in that place? Was the vessel unwell in some way? No, Anona and I checked before the warp, and the warp core and navigation systems are both well. Warp to follow that curious signal from the Eye of the Universe. Where we arrived was wrong. It wasn't where we tried to go. Suppose it wasn't a problem with the vessel, but with our destination. We're afraid for our friends in Escape Pod 3. Yeah, well, I guess they're all dead, but they're doubly dead. Bramble is not nice. Okay, nothing of importance here, but at least there's a tree. Uh-oh. They could have missed us. And probably went on to impact another part of the planet. At this point, they've all been dead for quite a few centuries, yeah. Rest in pieces. We can hear the other escape pod's distress signals, which gives me hope. Folly, are you still here? I'm unsure how to survive in this place without you. I'm unsure how to be me without you. Oh, that's sad. His significant other, or their significant other, was on the other escape pod. Which means they probably never met each other again. That's sad. Alright, well I think that's all the chunks that are still remaining here. There we go. Here's a big symbol of the eye of the universe. This knowledge is too dear to lose. Here's everything we can recall about the signal we encountered while aboard the vessel. The signal looked like an eye, round with a circle at the center, much like a pupil. I suppose the signal was looking for something. The signal is older than the universe itself. That is the most significant detail. No, my clan has ever encountered anything like it. How can anything in this universe be older than the universe itself? Imagine what rare and profound knowledge it might offer. We must find this eye of the universe. Very mysterious. Although, now that I think about it, time travel isn't out of the question here. No, be sure not to wander far from here, though this area is somewhat unstable. It's safer than any we've found so far. Temporary settlement is finished, but remember to be cautious of falling rocks and dust created by meteor impacts. Yep, I'm well aware of that. Fortnite player and you screaming 0 point. Nice. That would do it. Given concerns about our settlement stability, we should we construct a new, less temporary settlement? I believe we should migrate to the northern glacier. We need to stay close to the escape pod so Felix can monitor incoming messages. We can't be rescued if we aren't present to respond. I don't believe anyone is coming to save us, Thatch. We must save ourselves. I agree, we're here because the eye signal called it to us and we followed. If we're to find it, we need not merely survive, but thrive. This is a wise point, Plume, and eloquently made. Moving the northern glacier will keep us safer, then that is what we should do. Building beneath the crust again would shelter us from the volcanic moon's eruptions. What if we use gravity crystals to craft a stable path? 0 point of Fortnite is the center of every reality. Makes sense. Ah! Dang it! Thought I was good. I was not good. I think we missed a crystal, yep. Yeah, 0 point is a common sci-fi term anytime there's black holes or time travel shenanigans involved. Alright, let's see if we can hit something more useful in the quantum tower. Really love to get up to the launcher, but that's going to require some altitude here. We're just a little bit too high. Dang it. It's worth a shot. Up. Oh, so much for that. I'm getting better at slingshotting around the black hole. For better or worse. don't. Ah. So bees get sucked in. Where do they also land where you end up? Yep. You can see just random chunks of rock around here. All from the planet. I guess I'm gonna have to fix practically everything on this ship. Maybe not. Oh, we're mostly intact. Wow. Yeah, our ship fell a while ago. Cockpit tells you when something's broken, just want to know how nothing got destroyed. Yeah. I guess it was a clean fall through the black hole. Okay. As usual, I way overshot. But that's how that goes. Sun is red, but not loaded red. It's a good sign. Okay. So the city's on the northern glacier, and that makes us the southern glacier. Really need to work on our speed management. Yep, that is something that we do need to work on. By we, I mean me. Here we go. Hard down, but good enough. Gravity cannon, Selenium shuttle, mural panel 2, mural panel 3, escape pod 3, the vessel, old settlement. Well, the vessel is probably in the bramble. Oh, we could probably find escape pod number 2. Yeah, it is really cool how everything on this planet gets destroyed over time. It's a really neat gimmick. And they can do that because of the time loop. Oh, this got smashed. That's unfortunate. But we can keep going up this way, maybe? No. Yeah, really hard to do right. Bunch of Nomai. That is a baby Nomai. That's tragic. Alright, let's see if I can get over there without falling. The answer is no. Freaking course. Yeah, I mean, not literally a baby, but definitely, not a full-size adult. Actually managed to land on top of here for once. Fortunately, I don't know that it'll give me anywhere useful. enough altitude. And immediately fall off of it, too. Very cool. I guess the gravitational pull of the white hole explains why the interloper has such a weird moving pattern. Okay. Can I get back to my ship still? Yes, I can, because my ship fell through. Cool. I didn't realize it drifted so far from the white hole. Yeah, good timing, exactly. Just as I was looking for the ship, there it is. Hopefully it's not smashed to pieces. Wasn't aware the part of the bridge you landed on was part of what gets destroyed. Yeah. I was kind of expecting that to stay there, but I guess not. Well, I didn't do the part where you're supposed to slow down. Good job, me. There's Dark Bramble. Yeah, part of the bridge collapsed during the loop, but you thought it was more in the middle. Makes sense. So I know my fuel levels are critical. Oh, shoot. Speed management. I need to work on it. Crunch. Crunch indeed. Yeah. Yeah, don't need to worry about running out of fuel anymore. That's for sure. Okay. I've had enough of falling into black holes for one day. Let's see what else we can look into. See if we can track down the second escape pod. Maybe. Wonder why indeed. What could have driven Hawkbar to such madness? Never actually been to the Twins. Also haven't been to the Interloper, or whatever this thing is. What is that thing? Okay, we're at 0.7 kilometers per second. Time to start decelerating. I think that was added by the DLC update. Got it. I can go say hi. Small artificial object. So Some kind of satellite. Yeah, I don't have the DLC yet. An identified signal nearby. Deep space satellite. Frequency deep space radio. Cool. There's a progress bar on it. Or maybe that's a measure of degrees. What is that image? Yep, accurate. Accurate. Depressing. Very accurate. Very depressing. Well done. Tap the satellite with my ship. I can do that. By that I assume you mean crash into it at high speeds? Error, map offline. Ah. So that was what was providing our interstellar navigation. And now we've knocked it out of orbit. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's okay, who needs navigation anyway? That makes sense that you need an object outside the solar system to be able to get a accurate reading of everything like that. And it wasn't a thing before the DLC. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Too fast, too fast, too fast. Whew. I thought I was going way slower than I was. Okay, now I start pulling back. There we go. That should be good for approach. Who needs autopilot? Autopilots are chumps. That is definitely a nice comet. Covered in rock. Sends you forward to where you locked on. Yep, which does sound useful. But isn't that basically cheating? It's more fun to crash into things. Wait, if the sun is on that path? Yeah, that's a good point. Yep. Autopilot yourself into the sun. Seems reasonable. Gravity is very low, as expected from such a small object. There is something. Right there. You know how many times you send yourself into the sun like that when you're trying to get the hang of the game? Makes sense. Ah. This is troublesome. It seems the comet wishes to submerge our shuttle in ice. If you stay on the surface too long, the shuttle may freeze entirely. Even if it did, couldn't someone call it back home to the gravity cannon on number twin? Yes, but the exploration of the comet would be more difficult if we were without the shuttle until someone recalled it. Perhaps we shouldn't have landed on the dark side of the comet. Suppose one of us remained in the shuttle to keep it warm and continue monitoring the surface. This would be wise, I think, Clary. If you don't mind waiting here with it, Poke and I continue investigating the surface. Neat. And here's the shuttle, and it is frozen over. That would do it. Comet full nom 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 on the shuttle. Yep, seems that way. That's exactly Jerome. You got Eden. Let's see, do they discover anything else interesting on the comet? That's the question. Oh, shoot. Let's not fall off the comet, shall we? I'm going to refuel here in a second. There we go. Slowly getting the hang of this movement. Shush it up so after so many hours on this game. Frozen to my shuttle. There's more to explore here. Cool. The Amber Twin gravity cannon is connected here. Makes sense. Go ice skating. Alright, into the darkness. Doesn't look like there's a hatch here. But I suppose if we get to the Ashen Twin, then we can recall the shuttle back, and that should break it from the ice, so that we can explore it there once it's recalled. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I understand now. I don't suppose crashing violently into the icicle with my ship is the right play. uh, yes and no. That is actually the answer. I would never think to do that legitimately, so in that case it wouldn't be rhetorical. Alright, the map is offline. Oh. Right. As part of its orbit, it passes by the sun, which would cause parts of it to melt. Potentially. Look at that perfect timing. And it didn't melt completely. It's very lucky for it. Guess the rock shield helps. So it looks about the same. What if it takes multiple passes through the solar system for that? I don't know if it passes by the sun multiple times during a single loop or not. It only passes 2 times near the sun, 3rd time it goes in. Makes sense. You could see it if only you had a map, yep. Well, we are currently heading away from the sun. We're slowly starting to accelerate back towards it. To be fair, you were the one who suggested bumping into that satellite. So it's not entirely my fault that we don't have a map. Nice, plausible deniability, I see how it is. As if you could ask me to do it. You never actually told me to do it. It's true. Technically true. Alright, so we're passing by Whitehall Station, which, if I remember correctly, is at the end of the orbit of the comet. So this means that we should start accelerating back towards the sun again. with this. What is that yellow thing off in the distance? Is that just sky? Is that dark bramble? I can't even tell from this distance. I can zoom in, that is true. That just looks weird. Cloud of dust fading out. There's dark bramble. Check out that harmony. Oh, we're flying right past it. We're less than 2 kilometers away from it. That was a near miss. Can I get a fuck dark bramble? I'm gonna say fuck dark bramble. So you're finished with the game, you should watch the speedrun of this game. Very impressive. Oh, I can imagine. Yep. So that makes this giant steep, as seen from behind. Yep, there's the floating islands. Whew, once again, we're passing real close by. Alright, now we're rapidly approaching the sun. I am rapidly approaching the sun, I should say. I didn't realize I fell off the comet. That's awkward. Oh boy. I thought I was still on the surface. Oops. Oh, this is awkward. I think I might hit the sun before I hit the interloper again. Oh boy. Dang it. Yeah, I fell off a while ago. Well, so much for that loop. So much for all that waiting. We somehow got flung off the comet and into the sun. Not sure how that happened. Yeah. Not sure what happened there, but it happened. Cool. Alright, well maybe we can go find something else to do then while we're waiting for that to make that loop. Yeah, so currently the interloper's at basically starts at the far end of its orbit. It's gonna loop around the sun. Like I said, it takes 3 attempts. Nice thing is we have the map back, yep. Yes we do. Alright. Maybe it's time to finally say hi to the Hourglass Twins. What, am I going to hit the satellite again? No, I'm good. I'm good. What's that thing? Orbiting around the sun. Hey, satellite's a fun game for all the family. It's true. True. Hard to argue with that. That thing's fast. Has some kind of like solar collector. Orbiting the sun. Almost 3 a.m. here. Are you going to sleep now? Good luck with not getting crunched to death. Thanks, Jerome. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And have a good night's sleep. Tentacle heart. Very nice. Man, you'd think the sun's gravity would be affecting me more at this distance, but I guess not. Okay, well, so much for that plan. We're going way too fast. Oh boy. Oh boy. Almost ran into the golf ball. Yep, good thing we missed completely. Almost like that was intentional on my part or something. Okay. Slow down our approach. Significantly. There we go. Yep. So that'll be the first pass for the interloper, and then it'll have one more pass later. Oh, whoa. That's freaking weird. Yep. I'm keeping an eye on it. So it's pulling ash off the Ashen Twin into the core of this planet. Interesting. There is a traveler on the planet, that is true. Here we are. Landed on top of a tree. Nice. Goodness, it's you. Hello. Take it your first launch went well then? Welcome to the Hourglass Twins. Mind the sand now. What are you up to? Hornfels asked me to update our star chart, so I'm out here observing. This is one of the best places in the solar system to spot astronomical events, you know. It's one of the 2 travelers whose ship is still usable. That's a good point, because most of the people are stranded from their ship or trapped. So they're kind of gonna get stuck out here anyway. It's weird as I've actually seen a couple of supernovae lately. Usually I'd be fortunate to see just one. Keep an eye out for on the stars and maybe you'll spot one yourself. Tell me, what can I do for you? Found something. Found your notes about the Outer Rock's main crater. Did you? Hope they were useful. The planet I mentioned may have been frozen solid or just partially made of ice, like a much colder giant steep. It's hard to say. It used to be the 5th planet in our solar system. You'll notice, of course, that there's no such planet now. In its place is Dark Bramble, which, how to put this, grew into the space the 5th planet used to occupy. And his dark bramble quite literally appeared at the center of the fifth planet, began destroying it from the inside out. Eventually the planet shattered completely and shards were flung across space. Some of these shards collided with the celestial bodies in our solar system, such as Seattle Rock, which I believe is how its biggest crater was formed. Cool. Now, Mistaken Shared is the only traveler that has different dialogues depending on where in the loop you are. Interesting. How do I know if I spotted a supernova? Supernovae look like extra bright stars to the naked eye, but if you zoom in with your signal scope, you can tell that they're actually enormous explosions. Massive stars go supernova at the very end of their lifespans, which is why it's so unusual to see two in a single day. I wonder if some of these stars are older than we realized? Now I started noticing the time dilation then. What are you doing out here? Right now I'm documenting stars. Hornfellows noticed our star charts are out of date, so they asked me to update them. Doesn't tell the others I said this, but I think I'm the only traveler out here interested in doing any science at all. Or maybe don't tell Hornfellows either. I think they're pretty deep in denial. How should I explore here? To be honest, I haven't left this lake bed. I don't mean to brag, but I'm really quite good with Little Scout, so I've been taking pictures of everything from right here in my campsite. Seen the old shipwreck site on Ember Twin's South Hemisphere? One shooting a bright beam of light into the sky? It's not one of our own crashes, surprisingly enough. This one's a Nomai ship. You find Nomai ruins across the Twins, but strangely, not a single settlement. Believe me, if there was one to see, I'd have seen it with my Little Scout. So where do they live? Not on the surface, clearly. Ember Twin is full of cave systems, though. Maybe the answer lies underground. How dangerous is the big column of falling sand? On a scale of 1 to dead, I give it a 7 or an 8. Awfully pretty, though. And now sand is flowing from Ash Twin to Ember Twin, but do you know the process eventually reverses? I'm not completely sure why the sand flows back and forth between the twins, but it seems to be a natural phenomenon. Now, if you'd like to see something interesting, check out the other twin once a little more of its sand drains off. Promise you won't be disappointed. Try for falling sand, okay? I had to dig myself out once or twice, and that's not half as fun as it sounds. So that you don't actually see the sand go the other way. Does that actually happen? It's disappointing. Well, heckin' words. Probably. It's out of the loop time. That's disappointing. Ooh, okay. There are definitely caves that are exposed by the lack of sand down here. That's cool. The process finishes not too long before the end of the loop. It starts shortly after the start of the loop. That's a bummer. So Nomai facilities start being exposed as the sand drains away. There's so much shit to see on this planet. Yeah, I can tell. Well, that is a one-way exit. What about this one? So is this one? Okay. Both exits. And what's this? Giant cacti? Very cool. There's a scroll. Yoink. Oh. Awkward. And there goes our ship. there's the gravity cannon. Didn't need that, right? No. Hopefully not. Let's see, where's the interloper? Circling around for its second pass, I think. Friends visiting from the Hang City, we are planning the Ash Twin project at the High Energy Lab on Ember Twin's equator. Became lost in Ember Twin. My gratitude that Ryan found me, but the High Energy Lab is the building with the large solar panels. I'm surprised I didn't see it. Imagine our otherwise immensely clever Konoi would lose his own head if it weren't anatomically impossible. So it's on Ember Twin. Yeah, High Energy Lab. Nothing in here. Oh yeah, it's a spacesuit Nomai. That's cool. Hadn't seen too much of their spacesuits before. I think the gravity here is very low. Okay, the sand is still too piled up here to do anything. Yeah, that uncommon, huh? Just one other place. Out of the way, out of the way. Wasn't out of the way enough. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh boy. There we go. I lived. And nothing over here. Whoa. It's fully out of the ground. Entrance is smashed up. This was buried a few minutes ago, wasn't it? Dang. Now my stuff is crazy. Some time has passed since I checked in with you, Pi. How are you and Idea progressing with the Sun Station plans? Presently, my assessment is that our plan will either fail explosively or succeed explosively. Hate this room so much, yeah? Well, you know, I don't find that funny. Curious, Remy thinks I'm a gas. I don't recall requesting you monitor this conversation, Idea. I don't see what state of matter you are has to do with this. I don't recall supporting the Sun Station's construction, but here we are. Hypothesis: time spent away from the station will be beneficial to you both. Honestly interested in testing our hypothesis, Hero. That at least we can agree on. Oh boy. Jeez, so much sand missing. So short of time, too. Feels like it hasn't been that long. And the interloper just missed its flyby. If I had my ship, I could go check on it, but That doesn't look promising right now. Let's see. Have I been here yet? I don't think so. Not far by any means, but a different planet still, yep. It is in fact on a different planet. I've got an archaeological dig that is unearthing itself in real time. There's more spacesuit Nomai. Oh boy, almost out of fuel. That's concerning. I wonder if I should try to jump back to my ship. If I can even make it that far off suit alone. Might be able to. If I ride this up. There we go. Just enough to get into the other planet's gravity. Uh-oh. And we are rapidly burning through O2. There we go. I think we're just barely going to be able to make it. There we go. Nice, the ship's still intact. Excellent. Alright. Need to go check on the interloper. So close from both death by oxygen and or by crushing, yep. That was a very, very risky play, but we did it. And we can accelerate to 1 kilometer per second, and then immediately start decelerating. Going too fast. Gonna have to overshoot. Try again. There we go. Full kilometer per second is probably always too fast in practice for the size of the solar system. And we get up to about 400. Start decelerating rapidly. There we go. That looks about right. Our solar system could really be that small without everything crashing into each other? Yeah, realistically, probably not. I don't know. I'm not a rocket scientist. Yeah, well, it's exposed. Yes, I am a mad scientist, and I am on a space lab, but I am not, in fact, a rocket scientist. You need a degree for that. Is room temperature degrees enough? Probably. Okay, so this should be as unfrozen as it gets. I think. As the dark bramble fly by. Sure. I'll take a tip. Gotcha. So that's how it works. That makes sense. I wasn't sure if it would like heat up from repetitive flybys of the sun or not. Yep. It's not going to be frozen for long. Time to write it in. Flyby of Timber Hearth. Here we go. So now I'll be able to watch in real time as we collide with the sun. Nice. Okay, so it didn't actually unfreeze that round. Just immediately burned up. Cool. So that proves that theory. Or it disproves that theory, I suppose. So this time we'll just catch it on one of the flybys. I'll be right there when it happens. It adds additional information to that theory. That's for sure. Learning more about the Ash Twin project. Very cool. Yeah, and there's that escape pod. I'll have to visit that. If I sent you on a wild goose chase and making you lose the map again? That's possible. But you know I trust you, Yazoo. So I'd still do it anyway. Mm-hmm. It would be. That's the beauty of it. As the bar wore out, a pilot would fly us straight into the sun. Instead, we're gonna see if we can do a flyby. There we go. Whew, now we're flying at over a kilometer per second. So now we just rapidly decelerate. Hopefully we don't crash. That's true. I am more than capable of flying into the sun without the aid of any autopilot. Gonna get us to the record. We're at 80. Out of 81. Too long to have them. You're lazy. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, here we go. Just wedge our ship in here. Still got a little while before we hit the sun, but it's been surprisingly quickly. You can watch it moving in real time almost. Bum, 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 ba-da, 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 bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 ba-da, bum, ba-da, ba-da, bum, 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 ba-da, nearly fly by the twins as well. You can easily hear the full thing if you fling yourself out of the solar system. True. We did that already. Oh. Yep, there goes our ship. See, it partially unfroze the ship, but not enough to open up a hatch or anything. So do we wait for the second pass then? Before it freezes back up? Or was I looking at the wrong thing? Okay. And there passes into the sun. Sorry to screw it up then. Yeah, for the gravity cannon. Dang it. Should have seen that coming. Alrighty. Well, let's head back to the twins, because there's a lot of stuff to see there. Seeing the size of the solar system, I wonder how big the characters are. Very small. But not as small as you might expect. So the characters are probably about a meter wide in terms of like overall like hitbox size. So you could basically have 15,000 No my standing side to side between here and Ember Twin. Which is not that many compared to the much longer distances in our real solar system. So a lot of these planets are like less than a kilometer wide, which is very, very small. Significantly smaller than our moons in real life. The sun actually does make it a little bit difficult to maneuver here. But here we go. Coming at it from behind. So we're probably about halfway through the loop. See where the controls for the cannon. I assume they're underground. Heck. Yeah, that would be nice. I feel like it's something you're supposed to just like measure based on like the size of the sun and stuff, roughly. It'd be nice if you could like... This game had upgrades that you got over the course of the game. That would be one that'd be really nice to have. Well, you know, I was aiming for the big hole and I missed. It's close enough. There we go. Here are the controls. Entrance to a secret base. Very cool. Sunless City. Get the gravity cannon. Call the shuttle home. Alright, calling the shuttle home. There we go, and it is frozen. But accessible. That'd be really cool is if there was something that basically would act like a clock, but only if you knew how to read it. So like you have like some kind of instrument that essentially measures, I don't know, like the temperature of the sun or something, and it's effectively a clock, but you would have to like read some of the writings to understand what it means. That'd be kind of cool. Fear our situation may be dire. Pi, Poke, and I landed here on this comet not long after its arrival in the star system. Our shuttle's equipment heard strange energy readings coming from somewhere beneath the surface. Pi and Poke were able to locate a fish from the ice on the comet's sunward side, and they descended inside to investigate the source of the readings. But Pi and my sister have been gone for a long time now. They haven't contacted me since descending below the surface either. Should I leave the shuttle to look for them? I want to follow protocol, but I don't know what I'll do if they aren't well. Poke, Pi, come back to me safely, my friends. They're probably all dead, if I had to guess. But there's no skeleton in here that I can see. So he probably made it out to go follow them. Oh, wait, never mind, there he is. They dead. Oh, there's Clary's body. I guess the other two are also there. Hey, I walked right past it too. Yeah, it kind of blends in, but there it is. So they did follow the rules and wait until the end. Got it, which means that the other skeletons are probably inside the comet, which is exposed when it passes by the sun on the sun-facing side. That's what it said. There's a fissure there. Cool. Oh, so much for going through there. Yep, there are a lot of cacti. So there is an underground settlement, but this is not an entrance to it. Fair enough. Alrighty. See if we can get out of here now that there's a shuttle on the way. There we go. Rapidly pulling all the sand off of this planet. Probably been in all of those. It's like a majestic tower. Still more, looks like. So it goes down further. And it's a very cool design. That's the tower that goes up. Gravity tractor beam thing. Fortunate part is all these buildings are starting to kind of blur together for me. I can't remember which ones I've been into. Oh well. There's the Nomai ruin down there. There's the ship. There's our friend. And this is supposed to be the high energy lab, I believe. So this entrance is broken, but we might be able to find another one underground. Sunless City. The door will need to remain closed for some time. Pi and I are running an experiment based on the extraordinary findings from the Whitehall Station. The High Energy Lab is now being used to design the Ash Twin project. If you're here to help or even just to observe, be sure to use the Sunless City pass to the lab. Amy and I will be running this experiment until one of us, specifically me, can prove the other wrong, so although it's inconvenient, the lab currently can only be accessed by the path from the Sunless City. So we'll need to find the entrance to the Sunless City. Between the Sunless City and the Hanged City, the Nomais like their cool names. Indeed. Finding sand inside would disrupt our setup and could have enormous consequences. This is an intriguing prospect, but the door must remain closed nonetheless. Be like, yeah, it'd be really interesting if sand ruined our experiment, but also don't. Seems reasonable to me. Now, sand is filling up here. So might not even be an entrance right now, unless we come in from the right time. So I guess we'll have to head straight here at the beginning of the loop then if we want to see all there is to see there. This long staircase. Identified signal nearby. Stress beacon. There it is. Here we are, escape pod number 2, I'm assuming. Ship is filling with sand, but we can still poke our head in. We need status reports for all systems, but initial things first, everyone unharmed. Our escape pod's passengers are afraid, but physically well, Anona. Everyone survived the crash. As a relief, at least, you have my gratitude. Burr, were you able to find the other escape pod's stress signals? Here are both signals somewhere in the star system, but I don't believe either escape pod crashed on the same planet as us. Then we scanned that just as it got filled with sand. There you go, escape pod 2. Thanks for the reminder. This planet's getting totally buried. Oh, there's a scroll. Chert's research notes, property of Chert. Clearly the Nomai were making astronomical observations here. They chose an excellent spot. What is this big rotating device for? What was it the Nomai were observing? Positive there's something special about the orange symbol on that device. Hal and the new astronaut's translator tool would be nice to have handy right about now. I would agree. Translating tools are very helpful. This planet, sometimes, and only sometimes, has a moon. There's also of note, it disappears if no one is watching it. Isn't that a fascinating orbital characteristic? This is my first time encountering a natural satellite with the ability to vanish when not being watched. We should study it. Or even better, we should travel there. I agree. Our first step would be determining a method to track this phantom moon so we can always know where it is. Given its reluctance to move while consciously observed, it might be a form of macroscopic quantum mechanics. Found your note, Mallory. Kindly count me among thus moon's admirers. What is happening when it disappears? I doubt it ceases to exist. Does it move to another location? I believe so. Not only does the moon appear around Brittle Hollow, I can confirm it sometimes orbits Timber Hearth as well. Very cool. I knew that, but it was good to be reminded. Nice, and this locator doesn't have to be selected to which planet, it just always shows all the planets. Nice. Now let's see if we can swap at these scrolls. Also shows the quantum moon and easier to access that than on the tower. Nice. Quantum moon locator is functioning. We have markers for each of the places the moon goes. Nona, Burr, I just observed the quantum moon in orbit around Dark Bramble. I added a marker for Dark Bramble. I thought the locator now accounted for all the phantom moon's locations, but sometimes the locator can't tell where the moon is. Perhaps there's a problem with the device? It's also possible there exists a sixth place in this star system to which the phantom moon travels. You have keen eyes, my friend, so this moon travels to a total of 5 locations, not 4. Actually 6. All sorts of places. Speaking of which, there it is. I hear someone say 7. There are a lot of places where the quantum moon can go, I feel like. So this will be very useful when it comes to tracking down the quantum moon, which we're not currently doing, but we will at some point. Now let's see, what else is there to see on this planet before it all gets swallowed up by sand? There's those energy towers. More sand, yep. Oh man, those arches went quite a ways down last time I was here, and now all of a sudden they're completely filled up, yeah. In that case, maybe we should check out the other one. Oh wait, the sand is gone. The sand pillar. I assume we're almost out of time then. This is as hollow as it gets. Let's see if we can reduce our impact speed. There we go. Nice. I still have a few seconds. So this just goes straight up to the top of the tower. Cool, nothing else here, it's just entrance to the central pipe, and it just goes upward. Okay. There's the other energy tower. Bottom of a building. You know, like Ember Twins did everything on it as time since sand would cover just about everything. Yeah. It does require you to be very careful about how much time you're spending on the loops. There's a lot of things you have to start at the beginning. But I suppose if you're really trying to explore that stuff, you could always just meditate once things start getting covered up that you wanted to explore. An old core fresh in the Black Hole Forge. We saw in the core sibling and brittle hollows. Write this. Gratitude, Clary. With this, the Ash Twin project is underway. Confess, I'm deeply curious about what... Out of time. Hand's still a pain. Yeah, I can see that. Alright. Well, I think we'll leave it off there. I have a great many things to explore on the twins. We can save some of that for next time. We're at, what, the 3.5 hour mark? Yeah, and I am tired. So I don't want to go too much longer. But thanks for being here. It's been a lot of fun. As you can tell, considering I'm playing well past my normal stream scheduled times. I appreciate you being here, Yazoo, to commentate and give hints and all of that. I appreciate being able to share this journey with you. Here, I thought you were Hawk. I'm that too. I have many things. You know, black hole emote in honor of your adventures. That's not a terrible idea. I don't necessarily oppose that. Or maybe an emote of White Hole Station. I'll see if I can throw something together. Yeah, we were just talking about Craft Economy earlier, and it looks like she's live. Why don't we go raid her? She's playing Rune Factory 5. Said it before, but it's one of your favorite games. Of course, it'll be around when you play it. Fair enough. Well, still. I still appreciate it. I'm glad we're both enjoying it together. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Cool. Well, yeah, that's it for tonight. As always, schedule should be pretty predictable at this point. More triangle strategy. I was about to say three houses. Triangle strategy. The other turn-based medieval RPG on Tuesday. And more Outer Wilds on Friday. So you know the game pretty well at this point. It's always nice to see new people discover it. I can see that. Kind of game that you can't really talk about in the abstract, but it's fun to see how different people experience it for the first time. Especially with such a non-linear game like this. You can run into so many different clues in different orders and get totally different perspectives on things. It's very cool. Very well designed game. Alrighty. So the first one I see that keeps falling into a black hole. Listen. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit too comfortable with the physics engine. I keep thinking I can make jumps that I can't. Yeah, let me see if I can whip up an emote. That's a pretty fun idea for one. Alrighty. Well, I will see you next time. They say try stuff, yeah. I do try. I fail sometimes, but at least I try. See ya.